Hello there, and welcome to the Sleepy Science Channel. I'm so glad you found your way here tonight. Maybe you've had a long day, or perhaps your mind just needs a quiet place to wander, a place far beyond the noise of the everyday. There's nothing you need to do now but rest. Let your breathing soften, your shoulders release, and your thoughts drift gently like clouds. Because tonight, we're traveling across the deep and distant universe to worlds that are strange, haunting, and quietly beautiful. Planets where the skies burn different colors, where oceans are made of glass or fire, and where gravity sings in tones we'll never hear. Some of these worlds feel mysterious, some feel lonely, and some feel like stories waiting to be told in whispers. We'll explore 100 sleepy facts together, each one a gentle step deeper into the stars. And if these journeys help you rest, feel free to like and subscribe. It helps other sleepy travelers find their way here too. Now, close your eyes if you'd like. Let your body become heavy and your mind become light. And let's begin. Fact 1. The universe is full of unexpected worlds. Long before we discovered planets beyond our own sun, we imagined worlds that looked like Earth, round, blue, familiar. But as our telescopes reached further, we found something far stranger. The universe is filled with planets that defy expectation. Worlds made of burning glass, oceans deeper than mountains, skies of molten iron, and places where night never ends. These planets formed under different suns, different pressures, and different cosmic histories. Their landscapes are sculpted not by water and wind, but by forces we can only imagine. Tidal pulls, stellar flares, frozen shadows, and chemical storms. The cosmos is not repeating itself. It is dreaming new worlds, endlessly, and we are just beginning to witness them. Fact 2. Not all planets look like Earth. We are shaped by the world we live on. Earth teaches us to expect trees, oceans, breathable air, gentle blue light. But beyond our comforting sky, planets come in forms that feel almost surreal. Some are covered entirely in sliding clouds of methane. Some shine with reflective crystal plains. Some have no surface at all, just endless, swirling layers of atmosphere. Their colors vary too. Sapphire blues, soft oranges, deep onyx black. Some glow faintly with heat from their core. Others reflect the cold light of distant suns like polished stone. The universe has no single design for a planet. Existence is more creative than we ever imagined. And each strange world reveals another possibility. Fact 3. Silence in the cosmic ocean. If you were to stand on one of these distant planets, you wouldn't hear much. Sound needs air to travel, and many worlds have atmospheres too thin, or too dense, or too toxic for sound to carry in familiar ways. The universe is filled with enormous, beautiful silences. The only voices out there are the gentle whispers of solar winds, the low hum of radiation, and the soft vibration of particles moving through magnetic fields. These are sounds we can measure, but not here. Out in space, silence isn't empty. It is calm, still, peaceful. And from that quiet, we step softly to our next world. Fact 4. Worlds wrapped in endless night. Not every planet turns the way Earth does. Some worlds are locked with one side forever facing their star, and the other side forever turned away. On these planets, there is no sunrise or sunset. One hemisphere is scorching day, and the other is an endless frozen night. Between them lies a boundary, a soft twilight ring, where the light is low and eternal. If life could exist there, it would know only this gentle dimness, a world of perpetual dusk. Imagine landscapes lit as though the sun is always just below the horizon. Quiet, soft, unchanging. From darkness, we drift now toward a stranger star. Fact 5. Suns that burn in different colors. Our sun glows golden white to our eyes, but across the galaxy, stars come in many colors, each shaping the planets around them. Red dwarf stars glow softly, like embers in a fire. Blue giants blaze with brilliant intensity, too fierce for life as we know it. A planet orbiting a red dwarf might live under a sky washed in deep crimson light. Shadows would fall darker, and the world would feel dreamlike and warm, though the air might be still and thin. Around blue stars, the skies might shimmer pale and sharp, like glass reflecting midday sun. Different suns create different moods, entire worlds lit by colors our eyes have never seen. And beneath one of these stars, a planet blazes like a jewel. Fact 6. 55 Cancri E, the Diamond Fire World 55. Cancri E is a world of extremes, a planet likely rich in carbon, compressed under unimaginable pressure. Scientists believe that beneath its blazing surface may lie vast layers of solid diamond. Imagine an entire world glittering from within, forged in darkness and heat. But its beauty comes with severity. The planet is so close to its star that temperatures soar beyond any earthly flame. Its surface may be oceans of molten rock, shimmering like liquid gemstones under a constant smoldering dawn. If you could stand there, you could not breathe, you could not survive. But you might see the ground glimmer like crystal fire, and beyond that glittering horizon, stranger worlds await. Fact 7. Kelt 9b, hotter than most stars. Kelt 9b is a planet that challenges the very meaning of the word planet. It orbits so close to its star that its day side reaches temperatures hotter than some small stars themselves, over 4,300 degrees Celsius. At such heat, molecules cannot hold together. The atmosphere breaks apart into individual atoms, drifting like glowing embers in a furnace. The star's radiation stretches the planet's shape, pulling its atmosphere outward, trailing behind it like a long, luminous veil. This is a world not meant for calm or quiet, yet from far away, it appears serene, as though floating in a soft blue glow. Even the most furious planets can look peaceful from a distance. We continue toward metal and storms. Fact 8. WASP 76b, the Iron Rain planet. On WASP 76b, the heat on the day side is enough to vaporize metals. Iron rises into the atmosphere like mist over warm water. But the planet is tidally locked, one side always facing the star, one side forever in twilight. Winds carry the iron vapor across the dark side, where temperatures drop just enough for the metal to condense. There, clouds form, and it rains molten iron, not water, not snow. Metal, falling in quiet glowing droplets, hissing as they strike the ground. Imagine a storm more silent than thunder, more heavy than rain, a world where the sky itself is made of steel. And from the iron horizon, we move to shattered glass. Fact 9. HD 189733b, the Glass Storm World. HD 189733b is a deep sapphire blue, like Earth from afar. But this beauty hides something wild and fierce. Its winds roar at thousands of kilometers per hour, more than strong enough to shape continents if they existed. Tiny shards of silicate glass drift suspended in its atmosphere, caught in unstoppable currents. When storms rise, the glass moves with them, slicing through the sky like shimmering dust. It is a world where the air itself is sharp, where storms sparkle like crushed starlight swirling. Yet from space, the planet looks calm, a perfect gentle blue marble, beauty and danger wrapped in silence. Fact 10. Kepler 70b, a survivor skimming a dead star. Kepler 70b orbits so close to its star that it completes a full year in just a few hours. Its star was once a red giant, a swollen, dying sun, and Kepler 70b should have been swallowed and destroyed. Yet somehow, it survived. It now circles what remains of that star at a distance closer than even our own atmosphere is to Earth. Surface temperatures can reach 7,000 degrees, hot enough to melt iron, rock, and even most metals into vapor. The planet may be just a burned core, stripped of anything soft or flowing, a memory of a world that once was. It is a relic of endurance, a planet that refused to disappear. We leave the fire now and step into shadow. Fact 11. TRES-2b, the darkest known planet. TRES-2b reflects almost no light at all. It is so dark that it absorbs 99% of the starlight that touches it, making it blacker than coal, darker than ink, deeper than night. Even when illuminated by its nearby star, it remains an almost invisible silhouette. Scientists believe its atmosphere is filled with light-absorbing compounds, turning the sky into a lightless ocean of heat. Yet from within that darkness, faint glimmers of red thermal glow may shimmer, like embers hidden under ash. To look upon this world would be like staring into a void that breathes, a world shaped from shadow itself. We continue deeper into the twilight between day and night. Fact 12. Kepler 1658b, the ember at twilight. Kepler 1658b sits at a delicate balancing point. It orbits close to its aging star, warmed like a coal held near a flame. The planet glows faintly, hot enough to shine, but not to burn away. Its atmosphere may shimmer in waves of deep gold and red, like the last light of sunset stretched across an endless sky. The planet is slowly spiraling inward, closer and closer to its star. Not in a sudden fall, but in a gentle drift over millions of years, like a slow, inevitable embrace. It is a world existing in its own eternal dusk, neither bright nor dark, but softly glowing. Now, we step into the worlds where night never ends. Fact 13. The night-locked worlds. Some planets never turn. One side always faces their star, warm and bright. The other side lies in endless shadow, untouched by sunrise, cold as deep space. This darkness is not frightening. It is gentle, ancient, and still. Mountains may rise there, silent and sharp, their peaks never lit. Frozen seas could stretch beneath starlight that never warms. If someone stood on the boundary line, the twilight band between day and night, they would see the sun forever resting on the horizon, a sunset that never ends, a world held in a soft, eternal sigh. We linger there, in the dim glow, before sinking further into the dark. Fact 14. Worlds without dawn. On worlds without rotation, dawn does not come. There is no morning to sweep away shadows, no evening to mark the end of light. Time loses its rhythm. The sky has only one face. Creatures here, if any exist, would live without the concept of day. Their lives would move to different measures: tides of heat, currents of wind, the soft murmur of distant seismic shifts. Imagine standing on a plain of silver dust, under a sky that never changes. A slow wind moves across the ground, carrying grains that whisper faintly. Nothing rushes, nothing hurries. The world simply is. And deeper still, we find the worlds where even starlight struggles to reach. Fact 15. The sky that never brightens. Some planets orbit so far from their stars that daylight never truly arrives. Their suns appear no brighter than a small moon in Earth's sky. Daytime is twilight. Night is only a deeper shade of blue-black. Mountains would cast shadows that stretch for miles. Snow and ice may shimmer in muted silver tones. The silence would feel soft, like freshly fallen frost. If you looked up, stars would remain visible even at noon, reminding you that this planet lives at the edge of light, a quiet threshold between warmth and deep space. It is a world meant for slow thoughts, a place where stillness becomes a companion. And now, the cold deepens. Fact 16. Ogle, 2005, BLG 390 LB, the coldest known planet. Far from any warm and nurturing star lies Ogle, 2005, BLG 390 LB, a world colder than any winter we could imagine. Its surface temperature is around 220 degrees Celsius, so cold that even the very air, if it had any, would freeze into silence. This planet receives almost no starlight, living in a realm where the sun is just a faint spark in a velvet sky. There's no warmth to melt, no daylight to soften the ice. Everything is still, quiet, unmoving. It is a world preserved in perfect calm, a frozen whisper in the dark, a reminder that not all worlds are shaped by fire. Some are shaped by silence, and beyond it, others drift even further away. Fact 17. Planets far beyond their suns. Some planets orbit so far from their stars that a full year may last thousands, even millions of Earth years. Seasons never change. Generations would be born and pass without ever seeing a shift in the sky. The sun on these worlds could look no brighter than a distant star, a pale dot offering only the faintest warmth. Ice might stretch unbroken for continents, glittering faintly under eternal starlight. Rivers, if they exist, would flow slowly, thick as syrup, moving at the pace of geological time. These planets do not rush. They are patient, ancient, and unbothered by motion. We float now to a world made entirely of stillness and frost. Fact 18. Ice giants, without warmth. There are planets so cold and distant that their surfaces are layered in exotic ices. Not just frozen water, but frozen methane, frozen nitrogen, frozen carbon monoxide, each forming crystals that gleam like pale blue opal under starlight. Their skies may be hazy and thin, with winds that sound like soft sighs moving through endless frozen plains. Underneath the ice, pressure builds, turning solid layers into strange forms, neither water nor stone, but something in between. Nothing melts here. Nothing evaporates. Time seems slow, as if the planet is resting. Yet beneath all that stillness, heat sometimes stirs from within, a quiet heartbeat waiting under ice, and soon we'll find the worlds that wander without stars. Fact 19. Frozen atmospheres that fall as snow. On some distant worlds, the cold is so profound that even the atmosphere itself can freeze. Gases we think of as forever airy, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, methane, can crystallize and drift gently to the ground, falling as delicate, whisper-light snow. Imagine a landscape where frost does not sparkle white, but pale blue, lavender, or faint silver. Where snowflakes are not made of water, but of air turned solid by endless cold. The ground would be soft, powdery, and quiet beneath your feet. Each step, a muffled hush. Each breath, if you could take one, a cloud of frozen stillness. These are worlds where winter is not a season. It is the shape of existence. And beyond them, the frost gives way to emptiness. Fact 20. Quiet worlds of crystal plains. Some icy planets develop smooth, glass-like plains of frozen seas. Wind cannot carve them. Water cannot ripple them. Time alone shapes their surface. Slow, unbroken, gentle. Imagine standing on a horizon that stretches in every direction, shimmering with a faint reflection of a dim star. The sky above is violet gray, still and calm. There's no sound except your own presence. It would feel like standing within a dream that has not yet been disturbed. A silence so deep, it feels soft. Such worlds are untouched, unhurried. They endure. And now, we step into the darkness where planets wander without any sun at all. Fact 21. Planets with no sun. Rogue planets drift freely through space, not bound to any star. They move through the cosmic dark like travelers, without a destination, solitary, unlit, unseen. They are warmed only by the faint heat of their own cores, left over from their formation. Some may have oceans beneath thick shells of ice, kept warm by hidden geothermal heat. Life, if it exists there, would never know the concept of day. There is no sunrise, no shadow, only endless gentle night, a darkness that does not threaten, only embraces. These worlds are not lonely, they are quiet, and in that quiet, they drift on. Fact 22. The weight of eternal night. On a rogue planet, night is not something that arrives. It is something that simply is. A constant, tender darkness that wraps every horizon in the same quiet shade. There is no concept of morning or evening, no shift from shadow to sunlight, only the faint glow of starlight scattered from distant suns, pale pinpricks in an endless sea of black velvet. If you stood there, your footsteps would sound close, hushed, as though the darkness itself absorbed them kindly. The air would be still and patient. Time would seem to slow, to soften, to drift. In the quiet, you might feel very small and very peaceful. We drift deeper into this soft dark, where warmth comes from within. Fact 23. Heat from within, instead of light. Even worlds without sunlight can stay warm. Deep below their frozen surfaces, heavy core metals press and shift, creating heat through slow, steady motion. This warmth rises gently, like the faint breath of a sleeping giant. It may melt hidden oceans beneath miles of ice, oceans that never see the sky. Liquid water can exist there, silent and untouched, for billions of years. No storms disturb them. No seasons change them. They simply rest in deep, secret stillness. If life exists on such worlds, it would know only darkness, but not despair. Only quiet. Only calm. We drift deeper still, to a glow beneath the ice. Fact 24. Soft glows beneath frozen skies. Some rogue planets may emit a soft infrared glow, invisible to human eyes, but warm to the touch. This gentle warmth could rise through cracks in frozen crusts, glowing faintly like embers hidden under snow. Imagine a world lit not by a sun, but by the slow heartbeat of its own core. Mountains would stand in silhouette against an endless, velvety horizon. Ice plains might shimmer very faintly, like moonlit glass turned warm. It would not be bright, only soft and subtle and serene. A world glowing from the inside, as though dreaming. And from this glow, we step to the lone travelers themselves, wandering through eternity. Fact 25. Solitary travelers of the void. Some planets are born near stars, but are flung away by gravity's quiet violence, sent drifting through the galaxy without a home. They wander between constellations, across distances measured in countless lifetimes. But their journey is not rushed. Space is calm, and time moves slow. A rogue planet may travel for billions of years without ever encountering another star, yet it continues, steady and silent. If we could stand upon such a world, we might look up and see galaxies instead of skies, spirals and glittering clusters stretching from horizon to horizon. No sun, no dawn, only the gentle company of stars. Now, from wandering night, we turn toward a world that burns quietly beneath clouds. Fact 26. Venus. The gentle star, the harsh world. To us, Venus appears soft, a bright, steady glow in twilight skies. Ancient cultures named her for love, beauty, gentleness. But beneath those serene clouds is a world of extremes. The atmosphere is thick, heavy, and unyielding, so dense it would press against you like deep ocean water. Heat is trapped beneath endless layers of carbon dioxide, warming the planet to temperatures hotter than molten lead. Yet from above, the clouds reflect sunlight softly, glowing pale gold and honey. It is a quiet beauty that doesn't reveal its fierceness. Venus is a reminder. Even the gentlest lights in the night sky can hold storms behind their brightness. We drift now through those clouds toward amber mist and distant thunder. Fact 27. Clouds of acid and amber light. The clouds of Venus are not water clouds like those on Earth. They are formed from droplets of sulfuric acid, thick, layered, and swirling slowly across the sky. The sunlight that filters through these clouds takes on shades of deep copper and amber. A Venusian day would feel muted and warm, the sky heavy and hazed. Sound would travel differently, slower, thicker, as if the air itself wanted to hold every whisper in place. If you look to the horizon, the world would seem blurred and soft at the edges, like a dream seen through warm-colored glass. It is beautiful, but beauty can be dangerous too. And now, we descend gently toward the weight of the atmosphere itself. Fact 28. Skies thick enough to press you. Still on Venus, the atmosphere is so dense that the air itself becomes a presence, a quiet, heavy weight that settles against every surface. Standing there would feel like being deep beneath an ocean. The pressure is more than 90 times what we feel on Earth. Breathing would be impossible, not for lack of air, but because the air would be too heavy to move. Even sound would change. Footsteps would seem muted and close, as though the air was holding them back. Your own voice would sound lower, softer, wrapped in warmth. Nothing would rush here. Movement would be slow, gentle, careful. And above, amber clouds drift quietly across the sky. Fact 29. Heat that never leaves. Venus is a world where heat does not fade. Sunlight enters, warms the ground and the air, and cannot escape. The planet holds warmth the way memory holds emotion, completely, deeply, endlessly. Temperatures hover around 475 degrees Celsius, hot enough to melt metal, soften stone, reshape landscapes over time. Rocks glow faintly with heat. The ground radiates warmth like embers beneath a fire, slow and steady. Yet the world remains calm, still, quiet. Heat here is not a flame. It is a presence. And wrapped in that warmth is history, a world caught inside its own past. Fact 30. A planet wrapped in its own memory. Scientists believe Venus may once have been more like Earth, with oceans, rainfall, and skies that allowed gentle sunlight. A place where calm winds stirred water and stone. But something shifted. The balance of heat, gas, and time tipped slowly, then completely. Oceans evaporated, clouds thickened. The world grew warmer, and warmer still. Now it holds the memory of what it once was, buried beneath layers of cloud and pressure, like a dream sealed away. Venus is not a world of destruction, but of transformation, a quiet reminder of how softly a planet can change. And with that soft reminder, we drift back into the vast sea of worlds, toward oceans deeper than anything on Earth. Fact 31, GJ1214b. The water vapor planet, GJ1214b, is often called a water world, not because it has oceans like ours, but because water may fill nearly everything about it. Its atmosphere appears heavy with mist, thick with steam, layered in drifting clouds of warm vapor. If you were to descend through its sky, you might fall through miles of soft, bluish haze. Not rain, not fog, something gentler. A world where water is always in motion, always rising, always folding back into itself. Below, there may be oceans deeper than any on Earth, stretching down for thousands of miles. No shore, no beach, just endless, quiet blue. A world that feels like a dream of water. We now move deeper, where oceans have no bottom we can imagine. Fact 32. Oceans thousands of miles deep. On some water worlds, pressure increases so gradually and continuously that the ocean never transitions to land. It simply grows denser and darker the farther down it goes. Sunlight would fade after only a short distance, replaced by soft blue darkness that thickens into ink-black calm. Below, the pressure becomes immense, enough to turn water into exotic ices, solid yet scorching hot beneath crushing weight. These oceans do not crash with waves or swell with storms. Their surfaces may be still as polished glass, reflecting a sky of soft, muted color. Such a world is not empty. It is full of quiet depth, and beneath that depth lies silence beyond silence. Fact 33. Blue, without shores. Imagine standing on a world with no land. The horizon stretches in every direction as uninterrupted ocean, a smooth, endless surface, calm and slow-moving. Clouds move in soft layers, forming gentle patterns like brushstrokes. Rain falls not in storms, but in delicate curtains of droplets. The air smells of salt, not sharp like the sea on Earth, but faint and clean, like the scent of cool morning fog. There is no concept of coastline here, no memory of sand or stone. Every direction leads to the same quiet expanse, blue meeting blue, sea meeting sky, in a calm, unbroken line. A world that never hurries, never rushes. It simply drifts. And now, we move to places where pressure shapes everything. Fact 34. Pressure that silences everything. In the deepest parts of an endless ocean world, pressure becomes a quiet, commanding presence. The deeper you travel, the more the weight gathers around you. Not harsh, not crushing suddenly, but growing slowly, like the hush of a thick quilt. Here, sound travels differently. Voices would not echo. Movement would feel deliberate, slow, graceful. Even light would move cautiously, scattering into soft gradients of blue and shadow. If life exists in these depths, it would move like drifting silk, unbothered by urgency. Pressure here is not a force to struggle against. It is simply the way of things, a gentle stillness that keeps the world quiet. Now, from the deep calm of oceans, we rise to worlds where water never touches land at all. Fact 35. Worlds where rain never touches land. On some planets of endless sea, clouds form just as they do on Earth. Moisture rises, condenses, falls again as rain. But the rain never meets a shore. There's nothing for droplets to greet but more water. The cycle is constant, unbroken. Ocean to cloud, cloud to ocean. Storms here are soft and sweeping, their winds moving gently over open horizons. Standing on such a world, you might hear the quiet patter of rain meeting waves, a sound without sharp edges, gentle, even comforting. Days would pass without change. Seasons would blur into one another. Time would feel round, not linear. And from this calm sphere of water, we drift toward a world that spins in a very different way. Fact 36. Uranus, the planet that rolls on its side. Unlike most planets, which spin like tops upright, Uranus turns as though it is lying down. Its axis is tilted so far that its poles face the sun directly, one for an entire half of its long year, and the other for the next. This gives Uranus seasons that last decades. Winters, where a hemisphere sits in silent darkness. Summers, where sunlight glows endlessly, soft and pale. Its atmosphere is calm, layered in gentle tones of blue and aqua, a world that looks serene, even sleepy. Uranus is not dramatic. It is quiet, slow-turning, patient. A planet that reminds us, even in motion, some worlds choose to move softly. Fact 37. 79-year-long seasons. On Uranus, a single year lasts 84 Earth years. This means each of its seasons, spring, summer, autumn, winter, can last nearly 2 decades. Imagine a summer that begins before you are born, continues through your childhood, and does not end until you are grown. Light changes slowly here, almost imperceptibly. The sun drifts in the sky like a quiet, wandering lantern. Shadows stretch long and calm across the clouds, unhurried in their movement. Time becomes something different on Uranus. Not a march, but a gentle drift, as though the planet is breathing very slowly. We move now to a winter that feels like dreaming. Fact 38. Winters without sun. Because Uranus is tilted so far, one of its poles can spend more than 20 years in darkness. No sunrise, no golden horizon, only the soft glow of distant starlight reflected in icy clouds. But this darkness is not empty. The atmosphere glows faintly from within, soft blue-green light diffusing through thick layers of gas. A winter here is not harsh. It is muted, quiet, restful. The planet seems to sleep, curled gently beneath its own blanket of shadow. And when the sun returns, it rises slowly, like a memory being remembered. Fact 39. Summers without shadow. When summer finally comes to a pole of Uranus, the sun does not dip below the horizon at all. It hangs in the same place in the sky, glowing softly for decades. The light is not bright. It is pale, silvery, delicate. Clouds swirl beneath it in slow, ribbon-like patterns, soft blues shifting to aquamarine and back again. A world without night may feel like waking inside a dream, where time stretches, smooth and uninterrupted. This is a place where days do not rush forward. They simply exist, unbroken and gently luminous. From these soft skies, we drift now toward moons that feel like entire worlds of their own. Fact 40. A world of slow turning. Some planets and moons rotate so gently that their days feel like soft, unbroken stretches of time. Clouds drift lazily. Winds move in long, slow currents. Shadows stretch and shrink without urgency. These worlds do not rush to cycle from day to night. They seem to prefer to rest, unbothered by change. If you stood on such a world, you might feel as though time had softened around you, as if the hours were wrapped in cotton and quiet air. Nothing would demand your attention. Nothing would press forward. The world would simply hold you, steady and slow. And in that stillness, we now drift to Titan, where amber clouds hang low and seas are made of methane. Fact 41. Titan, methane, seas beneath orange skies. Titan, Saturn's largest moon, is wrapped in a thick golden haze, a world that looks like a softly glowing lantern in the dark of space. Its atmosphere is rich with hydrocarbons, forming layers of warm orange clouds that filter sunlight into gentle honey-colored light. Beneath them lie lakes and seas, not of water, but of liquid methane and ethane, still and reflective like cold, dark glass. Here, rain falls slowly, drop by drop, forming rivers that carve channels into frozen plains. The air is dense, the wind is soft, and every sound would be muted, as though the world is speaking in whispers. We step now from quiet seas into a world of fire. Fact 42. Io, lakes of lava and sulfur winds. Io is the most volcanically active world in the entire solar system. Its surface is alive with molten lakes, geysers of sulfur, and glowing flows of magma. Tidal forces from Jupiter pull and twist Io's interior like kneading warm clay, generating heat that bursts outward in constant volcanic bloom. Its landscape shifts continuously, a world remaking itself every moment. But even here, there is beauty. Sulfur crystals form plains of soft yellow and pale green. Volcanic plumes rise like delicate veils into space, and lava glows like embers beneath a night sky. It is a world of fire, yet even fire can have its own quiet rhythm. From flame and sulfur, we drift into ice and hidden oceans. Fact 43. Europa. Beneath the frozen shell. Europa, one of Jupiter's moons, is covered in a smooth shell of ice. Its surface is pale and gently fractured, etched with soft lines where the ice has shifted and stretched over time. Below that frozen shell lies something astonishing: a global ocean, deeper than any ocean on Earth, kept liquid by the warmth of tidal movements far below. This ocean is completely sealed away from sunlight. Its waters are in darkness older than life on Earth. Yet warmth, water, and chemistry meet there, quietly, patiently, for millions upon millions of years. If life exists here, it would know only silence, gentle currents, and the faint glow of minerals stirring in the dark. We drift on to a moon that breathes into space. Fact 44. Enceladus, the geysers in the dark. Enceladus is a small moon of Saturn, icy white and softly radiant. At its south pole, great plumes of water vapor rise from beneath the ice, spraying into space like frozen fountains. These geysers come from a hidden sea, a warm ocean beneath the moon's glimmering crackled crust. As the vapor escapes, it forms a delicate halo of ice crystals around the moon, glittering like dust in sunlight. If you stood near one of these geysers, you would hear no roar, only a deep, quiet shifting, as if the world were sighing softly. Enceladus feels alive, not loudly, but gently. And now, we visit the largest moon of them all. Fact 45. Ganymede, the quiet giant moon. Ganymede is the largest moon in the solar system, even bigger than Mercury. Yet it does not shout its presence. Its beauty is subtle, calm, and steady. It has its own magnetic field, a soft and invisible shield humming quietly around it. Its surface is a mosaic of ancient ice, light, and dark regions like frozen continents and seas. Beneath that ice may lie another vast, hidden ocean, silent, patient, waiting. Ganymede feels like a world that carries memories, old landscapes, old water, old light. It does not rush through time. It endures gently. And from these moons, we drift back to planets shaped by age and change. Fact 46. Worlds that used to be warm. Not all planets are as they appear today. Some were once warmer, brighter, perhaps even welcoming. Their surfaces may have held rivers, oceans, or gentle rains, long before their suns shifted or their atmospheres faded away. These planets carry the quiet memory of what they once were. Sometimes, valleys still curve like the paths of ancient waters. Dried plains hold patterns that resemble forgotten tides. To stand on such a world would be like speaking with a very old friend. One who remembers something beautiful, but tells the story softly, without sadness. Time is slow out here, and the universe keeps its old memories well. We wander now, where water once touched land and then disappeared. Fact 47. Dry oceans and silent beaches. On some planets, oceans have long since vanished, leaving behind vast basins smooth as stone. Shorelines remain etched like faint pencil lines, tracing the rim of waters that no longer rise or fall. The sand here is not like Earth's. It may be powdered mineral, ash, or crystal dust, soft and weightless under gentle winds. When storms sweep through, they do not crash or roar. They murmur, moving waves of fine grains across plains so wide the horizon feels endless. There is a quiet beauty to places where water once lived, a softness in the way the land remembers. We drift now to worlds shaped not by water, but by stars. Fact 48. Star winds carving mountains. Some planets orbit close enough to their stars that powerful solar winds reshape their surfaces. Not storms of water or air, but streams of charged particles, whispering across rock for millions of years. These winds carve cliffs into slopes as smooth as worn river stones. They polish ridges, soften crags, and lift dust into slow, shimmering tides that drift across the surface. Mountains on such worlds do not stand rugged and sharp. They are rounded, quiet, old. Their shapes reflect the patience of light and time, a landscape shaped not in days or centuries, but in aeons. And from these gentle carvings, we drift toward atmospheres that fade like breath. Fact 49. Atmospheres fading like breath. Some planets hold their atmospheres only loosely. Over millions of years, gentle winds from their stars slowly lift gases into space, letting them drift away, like mist rising from morning fields. There is no sudden change, only a slow, quiet thinning. Skies once thick with clouds become pale and open. Winds go silent. The air becomes light, then lighter still. If you stood there, the horizon would appear sharp and clear, as though etched in crystal. Every sound would feel distant, every movement small and delicate. These worlds teach us that what surrounds us, even the air we breathe, is something soft, temporary, precious. And now we drift toward planets shaped by patience and stone. Fact 50. The patience of stone and ice. On worlds where change happens slowly, mountains do not rise from sudden collision, but from gentle shifts deep beneath the surface. Ice expands and contracts through long, quiet cycles. Rock cools and settles like embers, dimming at the end of a fire. Craters soften, ridges smooth. Time itself becomes the sculptor. Such landscapes appear calm, ancient, and wise, as though they have watched stars form and fade, never hurried, never alarmed. Silence rests deeply here. Even the wind seems to move with respect. And from these patient landscapes, we turn to planets orbiting stars of a different sort. Fact 51. Planets around red dwarfs. Red dwarfs are small, cool stars, glowing not in bright white or blue, but in gentle shades of ruby and embers. Planets that orbit them bask in warm, soft light. A world lit as though by perpetual sunset. Shadows stretch long and quiet. Skies may glow in deep rose or dusky violet, colors that feel calm and low to the ground. Life here, if it emerged, would grow under dim light, without hurry, its rhythms slow and steady. These stars burn for trillions of years, longer than almost any others, meaning worlds around them have time. Time to settle, time to change softly, time simply to be. From these ruby-lit skies, we drift now into the quiet patterns of light and shadow. Fact 52. Lopsided light and long nights. Many planets orbiting red dwarfs are tidally locked, with one side facing the star forever, and the other side resting in eternal night. On the day side, the sky glows in warm shades of red and coral, the light gentle and unhurried. On the night side, the stars shine in crystal clarity, uninterrupted by dawn. Between them lies the twilight band, a ring encircling the planet where day and night balance in quiet harmony. Here, the air may be calm, the temperature gentle, the sky a perpetual dusk. If life were to walk anywhere on such a world, it might choose this twilight, where the light is soft and time feels slow. We drift now toward planets orbiting giants. Fact 53. Planets around giants. Giant stars live bright, large, and brief, burning their fuel quickly, glowing with intense beauty. Planets around them bask in radiant light, their skies warm and expansive. Yet life here, if it ever formed, would have little time to develop. The star's brilliance would swell, shift, and fade too soon. Still, these worlds are beautiful. Wind-swept plains bathed in golden glow, mountains casting long, soft shadows, horizons edged with warmth. To stand here would be to feel small beneath a sky too grand to describe, a reminder that not every world is meant for permanence. Some are meant simply to shine while they can. And then, there are worlds that form more than once. Fact 54. Worlds that form. Twice. Sometimes, when stars die or collide, the dust and gas released into space gather once more, forming new stars, new planets, new worlds. A planet born from such a second creation carries the elements of ancient suns. Carbon from one star, iron from another, fragments of long-gone galaxies held in quiet unity. These worlds are patchwork histories, woven from the remnants of what came before. If we could walk their surfaces, we might feel an old familiarity, as though the planet remembers something deep, but speaks only in the language of stone. From these woven worlds, we move to stars that pulse like heartbeats in the dark. Fact 55. Stars that pulse like heartbeats. Some stars do not shine with steady light. They brighten and soften in slow rhythms, as though breathing or dreaming. A planet orbiting such a star would live in cycles of glow and shade. Days would feel like waves of light rolling softly across the sky, then receding into tender twilight. Plants, if they existed, might open and close in harmony with the star's pulse. Shadows would shift in long, smooth patterns, never sudden, never sharp. Standing there, you might feel the world move with a heartbeat not your own, quiet, slow, reassuring. The universe has its own rhythms. Some we can only sense, not see. Now we move toward planets shaped by invisible forces. Fact 56. Synchronous rotation. Some planets always show the same face to their star. Dayside locked in endless light, nightside resting in shadow eternal. To walk from one side to the other would be like traveling through time itself. From brightness that warms every stone, into darkness where frost curls across still plains. The border between them, the twilight belt, is a place of balance. Light and dark share the horizon. The sun hangs low, unmoving, a permanent dawn or everlasting sunset. Here, colors soften. Temperatures ease. Winds flow in a slow circular dance, carrying warmth from one world to the other. Gentle, steady, unchanging. We drift closer now, to where gravity stretches worlds like clay. Fact 57. Worlds torn by gravity. Some planets orbit so near their stars that gravitational forces pull at them constantly. Stone bends, mountains shift, oceans, if they exist, rise and fall in tides higher than any on Earth. This is not a violent process. It happens over ages, a slow, deep reshaping. Heat rises from the core as the planet flexes, warming it even without sunlight. Lava may flow softly beneath the crust, glowing like embers beneath cooling ash. Such worlds feel alive, not in the way living beings do, but in the quiet way of breathing planet stone. We drift next to orbits that decay like whispered goodbyes. Fact 58. Orbits that decay slowly. Some planets circle their stars so closely that their orbits are slowly, gently shrinking. Not in a sudden fall, but in a gradual inward drift. A journey that may take billions of years. The planet draws nearer with each revolution, the star's light growing just a little warmer, its presence just a little stronger. From the planet's surface, nothing would appear to change quickly. The sun would look the same in the sky for countless lifetimes. But deep in the mathematics of motion, gravity is whispering a long, slow story of final approach, a quiet return home. We now drift to worlds stretched softly by invisible tides. Fact 59. The gentle stretching of stone gravity does not only pull, it shapes. On some worlds, the tug of a nearby star or moon stretches the crust ever so slightly, like breath expanding and contracting the chest. This motion creates heat beneath the surface, warming stone into slow-flowing rivers deep underground. Volcanoes may rise not from violent pressure, but from warmth that accumulates patiently. To stand on such a world would be to walk across land that is always, quietly, moving, shifting in ways too gradual to see. The ground itself would feel alive, breathing in stone time, too slow for hurry, too gentle for fear. Now, we turn to the quiet rhythm between worlds and their stars. Fact 60. The quiet dance with a star. Every planet orbits its star, but some do so with such elegance that the motion resembles a dance. Their paths trace shapes of soft ellipses, never rushed, never abrupt. The star pulls, the planet follows, two partners moving in silence. From the planet's surface, the star may rise in the same place every day, never wavering, never wandering. This constancy brings a sense of calm, a rhythm that does not change. Planets and stars do not speak, but they move together as though they understand one another deeply. And now, we drift to the most colorful worlds of all. Fact 61. Sapphire blue worlds. Some planets appear in astonishing luminous blue, not because of oceans, but because of the way their atmospheres scatter starlight. HD 189733b, for example, shines a deep cobalt, rich as a twilight sky reflected in calm water. But if you stood there, the world would not feel gentle. Storms of glass sweep its skies at tremendous speed. Yet seen from afar, it is tranquil, serene, a blue jewel suspended in the dark. Many worlds are like this, their beauty visible only from a distance, where everything looks peaceful, everything looks still. We now float gently toward skies lit in softer flames. Fact 62. Ruby suns and violet clouds. When a planet circles a red dwarf star, the light that falls upon its clouds is warm and dusky, like the glow of sunset lasting forever. The sky could deepen into shades of rose and amethyst, horizons painted in soft purples and pinks, a world bathed in the colors of early evening. Clouds here would move slowly, smooth as silk drifting across quiet air. Shadows would be long, gentle, and cool. To live under such a sky would be to wake each day in a kind of peaceful twilight, warm, calm, and unending. And beyond these warm colors lie skies of shimmering gold. Fact 63. Planets of dimming gold. Some planets orbit stars that are growing old, their light softening as they slowly fade. The skies of those worlds glow with gentle golden dimness, like afternoon sunlight filtered through thin curtains. Mountains cast soft-edged shadows. Rivers, if they flow, reflect the sky in pale honey tones. Nothing is harsh here. Everything feels slow and tender. These are worlds in the quiet hours of their star's lifetime, living in the hush before starlight grows cool. a place where light feels patient and time feels forgiving. We drift now, softly, into skies that shimmer with endless auroras. Fact 64. Green aurora that never end. On some planets with strong magnetic fields, auroras are not rare moments. They are constant skies. Charged particles from solar winds sweep around the planet, guiding streams of light toward the poles, painting the atmosphere in shimmering sheets of emerald, jade, and pale turquoise. The lights do not flicker quickly here. They move slowly, more like curtains drifting in a gentle breeze, or waves of glowing mist rolling across a still lake. Imagine looking up and seeing the sky always alive, always glowing, always soft and moving. A world where night is not darkness, but color that hums. We float onward, into skies with colors that shift like cloth on water. Fact 65. Skies that shift like silk. On some distant worlds, chemical clouds form layers that refract starlight into shifting patterns of pastel hues. The sky might change color slowly throughout the day, from lavender to petal pink, then to soft gold, then to pale blue-gray at dusk. Nothing abrupt. No sudden transitions. Just the sky breathing through shades, like silk being turned gently in a soft light. If you walked across such a world, the colors would follow you, wrapping everything in calm radiance. A sky that moves at the pace of thought. A world painted in quiet gradients. We now drift into something stranger still, a planet made of carbon compressed into shining stone. Fact 66. Planets made of carbon. Some planets form in places where carbon is more abundant than oxygen. Under immense pressure, that carbon does not remain as dust or gas. It crystallizes. Deep within such worlds, layers of carbon may compress into diamond. Not gemstones set in rock, but enormous expanses of diamond-like crystal, stretching for thousands of miles beneath the surface. 55. Cancri E may be one such world, a planet glittering with the silent fire of compressed starlight. It would not sparkle like jewelry under a sun. It would glow softly from within, heat shimmering through crystal like embers in the dark. And from shining stone, we drift to worlds of heat so intense that ice remains solid. Fact 67. Planets made of ice, hotter than fire. Some planets hold water so deep and under such immense pressure that the ice formed there does not melt, even at temperatures that would boil oceans on Earth. This is supersonic ice, a crystal lattice glowing with internal heat, solid yet hotter than flame. Imagine walking, if one could walk, on ice that burns yet never melts. Ice that is not cold, but bright, dense, and full of silent energy. This ice forms at depths where sunlight never reaches, shaped not by weather, but by pressure. The patient, unyielding touch of time. A reminder that even familiar things become extraordinary when the universe whispers differently. We drift now toward worlds that have no surface at all. Fact 68. Vapor planets with no surface. Some planets are made not of rock or water, but endless layers of warm, swirling gas. There is no ground to stand on, only sky beneath sky, beneath sky. Clouds layer into deeper clouds, colors shifting from pale pastels into dark sapphire and indigo. If you fell into such a world, you would fall forever. No landing, no impact. Just soft descent through warm, dense air, like sinking through the folds of a dream. Lightning may flash silently, far below where light becomes memory. These worlds are not empty. They are full, endlessly full, of sky. And from infinite sky, we now drift to worlds heavy as thought. Fact 69. Super-Earths, heavy as dreams. Super-Earths are planets larger and heavier than our own, with gravity that presses gently but firmly, as though the world itself is embracing everything upon it. The ground feels steady, the air settles low and warm, and movement becomes slow, almost graceful. Mountains here may never grow tall. Their weight pulls them down into wide, rolling shapes. Oceans, if they exist, would lie calm and deep, held close to the world's surface. Life under stronger gravity would move differently, closer to the ground, deliberate, peaceful. A world that feels like rest, written into its very pull. Now, we drift, softly, toward worlds wrapped in mist and mystery. Fact 70. Mini-Neptunes, wrapped in mist. Mini-Neptunes are planets smaller than our ice giants, but coated in thick, dreamy atmospheres of vapor and cloud. From afar, they appear smooth and soft, their colors blurred as though seen through frosted glass. If you descended into one, you would pass through layers of mist that grow warmer and denser, each more secretive than the last. There is no clear boundary between sky and deep interior, only a gradual shifting of texture and light. Here, the horizon is a suggestion. Edges blur, shapes soften. These are worlds that do not reveal themselves all at once, but gradually, like a memory returning slowly. We drift now, toward the very old. Fact 71. Planets older than the Milky Way. Some planets formed before our galaxy fully took shape. They were born when the universe was young, when stars were fewer, when dust and metal were rare. Their surfaces may hold elements forged in the earliest supernovae, carrying stories from a time long before Earth existed. These ancient worlds are quiet, weathered not by storms or oceans, but by time itself. To visit one would be to step into an age beyond measure, a place where mountains and plains have watched galaxies swirl into being. These planets are the elders of the cosmos, calm, composed, patient, and we move now to oceans that may have been the first cradle of warmth. Fact 72. The first oceans in the universe. Long before Earth formed its seas, other worlds may have already held oceans of liquid water. These early planets orbited faint, dim stars, their waters warmed from within by geothermal heat. Their oceans were dark and quiet. No sunlight to sparkle on their surfaces, just gentle warmth rising softly from below. The waves here would have been slow, as though the planet were breathing. If life began there, it would have begun in stillness, in warmth without light, in a calm older than Earth itself, a memory of the universe learning how to hold water. And now, we drift toward stars that have been glowing a very long time. Fact 73. The old suns that still glow. Not all stars burn bright and fierce. Some glow quietly, steadily, for longer than any others. Red dwarf stars, small and calm, can live for trillions of years, far longer than the current age of the universe itself. Their light is gentle, a warm ember glow, casting planets in soft, dust-colored hues. If you stood beneath such a star, daytime might feel like late afternoon forever, the horizon touched with rose and amber tones. These stars do not rush through their fuel. They burn slowly, gracefully, intentionally. Around such suns, worlds have time to grow old, to settle, to dream. Now, we follow the light that has traveled across space to reach us. Fact 74. Light that has traveled forever. When we look into the night sky, we are not seeing stars as they are now, but as they were when their light first began its journey toward us. Some of that light has traveled for hundreds of years, some for thousands, some for billions. It crosses dust clouds and frozen nebulae, drifts between galaxies, slips silently past worlds where no eyes will ever see it. And then, gently, it reaches us. Light is a messenger from the past, a soft reminder of moments long gone, still arriving, still shining, still whispering across time. Now, we drift into the memory of the cosmos itself. Fact 75. The memory of the early cosmos. The universe remembers its beginnings not in words or stories, but in the elements that fill every star and every world. Hydrogen, the first breath of existence. Helium, the quiet second note. Heavier elements, forged in the hearts of stars and released in silent, radiant supernovae. Every planet, every moon, every living thing is built from these ancient pieces. Stardust, older than Earth, older than the Sun, older than the Milky Way. When you touch the ground beneath your feet, you are touching something with a history traced back to the dawn of everything. The universe does not forget. It simply transforms. And now, we drift toward the futures that are still forming. Fact 76. Worlds in dust rings. New planets begin in wide, soft rings of dust and gas circling young stars like halos of possibility. Within these rings, grains of dust drift together, touching lightly, then clinging, gathering into clusters that grow almost imperceptibly. There is no sound here, only motion slow as the settling of snow. Light filters through the dust in golden beams, casting shadows that move like drifting silk. In these rings, worlds are not built by force, but by patience, by time, by countless, gentle meetings of particles. Planets begin not as giants, but as whispers. We drift now to the first fragile forms of worlds. Fact 77. Planetary embryos. Before a planet becomes a planet, it exists as something small, tender, and unshaped. These early bodies, planetary embryos, are warm from the energy of their formation, glowing faintly beneath blankets of dust. They move slowly through their star's cradle, gathering material in soft, spiraling motions. Not violent collision, but quiet accumulation. In these moments, a world does not yet know its destiny. Rocky land, swirling sky, deep ocean, or endless cloud. It is simply becoming, growing, holding time gently, and sometimes a moon will grow alongside it, changing in its own way. Fact 78. Moons, becoming planets. Some moons orbit worlds so large that they never have a chance to shine on their own. But given time and gentle shifts in gravity, a moon may drift into its own orbit around the star. When this happens, it becomes a planet in its own right. Its sky changes, its temperature shifts, its seasons awaken. It is like watching a quiet companion step forward into the light, not with fanfare, but with calm dignity. Planets and moons are not fixed roles. They are stories unfolding. And now, we drift to the moment when worlds learn to hold air. Fact 79. Birthplaces of atmospheres. When a young planet first forms, it does not have a sky. There is only bare stone, warm from creation, glowing faintly beneath starlight. Atmospheres come later, gathered from volcanic breaths rising from the deep interior, and from gases delivered gently by drifting comets. At first, these skies are thin, whispering across the surface, but slowly, they thicken, layer upon delicate layer, becoming the soft blanket of air that shapes weather, cloud, and climate. A planet's first atmosphere is not a storm, it is a sigh, a world taking its first breath. Now we move into the quiet work of stone, settling patiently over ages. Fact 80. The gentle gathering of stone planets do not form in sudden dramatic bursts. They grow through countless small touches, grains of dust meeting, stones drifting together, boulders settling into place. This process is slow and kind. There is no rush in the cosmos. A world may take millions of years to take shape, never hurrying, never forcing. Over time, gravity draws everything toward a center, rounding sharp edges, smoothing rough shapes until the world becomes a sphere, balanced, steady, complete. A planet is not built by strength, but by gentle persistence. We now drift toward places where even molecules cannot remain whole. Fact 81. Too hot for molecules. Some planets orbit so close to their stars that heat dances across their surfaces in waves of glowing energy. Here, temperatures climb so high that molecules, the tiny building blocks of matter, cannot stay together. Instead, they separate into free atoms, a shimmering ocean of light and motion. The air becomes radiant, a haze glowing in soft, warm colors. These worlds are not harsh. They are luminous. Their surfaces shimmer like coals in a long-burning fire, steady and calm in their intensity. A reminder that even heat can be quiet, glowing without rage, burning without noise. And now, we drift toward the planets that sing with storms. Fact 82. Storms that circle for centuries. On some giant planets, storms do not come and go. They do not break and fade like ours. Instead, they form, slowly, patiently, and then circle the planet for hundreds of years. These storms move in calm, broad spirals, their winds flowing like gentle rivers of air. From above, they appear as soft whirls of cloud, pale creams and muted ochres blending like brushstrokes. There is no thunder here, no chaos, just motion, steady, circular, quiet. To look upon such a storm is to witness time itself in motion, slow, constant, enduring, a dance of atmosphere that began long before we were here to notice. Now, we drift toward heavier clouds, still. Fact 83. Clouds that never break. Some worlds are wrapped in clouds so deep and thick that their surfaces have never been seen, not even by starlight. These clouds form layers upon layers, like veils of silk stacked into endless softness. Each layer has its own color, its own temperature, its own slow winds drifting through the mist. To descend through such clouds would feel like sinking through memory. Light fading, sound dimming, the world turning to muted shadow and warm, heavy air. Below these clouds, the ground, if there is ground at all, remains hidden, kept in gentle secrecy. A planet that keeps its heart private. Next, we drift into a different kind of sky, one that flickers with light. Fact 84. Worlds of eternal lightning. Some planets hold storms that spark endlessly, sending lightning silently across wide cloud decks. The bolts are not sharp cracks like on Earth. They are slow, branching rivers of pale light, moving through clouds like veins of silver fire. The sound, if you could hear it, would be distant and soft, a muted rumble that feels more like a heartbeat than thunder. These storms are not violent. They are rhythmic, consistent, like the gentle pulse of a sleeping world. The sky glows from within, flashes blooming and fading like deep breaths in the dark. And now, we drift toward the edge of sunlight itself. Fact 85. Worlds at the edge of starlight. Some planets orbit so far from their stars that sunlight arrives only as a soft silver whisper. There is no bright day here, only a pale glow that falls across the land like moonlight spread evenly over an endless horizon. Shadows are faint, the sky a quiet shade of blue-gray or deep violet, depending on the star's distant hue. The cold is constant, but not sharp. More like a stillness, a world wrapped in hush and frost. These planets feel dreamlike, existing in the gentle space between night and light. as if the universe exhaled and forgot to breathe back in. We drift softly now to worlds that never see sunrise or sunset. Fact 86. Planets with perpetual twilight. Some worlds spin so slowly that morning and evening stretch on for months or years. Dawn is not a moment, it is a season. The sky glows softly for ages, light deepening so gradually that time feels circular, not linear. The sun hangs low near the horizon, like a warm lantern that never rises and never fully falls. Landscapes here are washed in gentle color: dusty rose, lavender, gold-soothed gray. Everything feels calm. Everything moves with quiet patience. The world lives in the softest light imaginable, a place where shadows have nowhere to hurry. And now, we glide into the worlds that belong entirely to night. Fact 87. The gentle fade into night. There are planets so far from their suns that night is their natural state. But this night is not empty. The sky glows with starlight reflected on ice. Auroras flicker low over the horizon, and moonlight casts long, delicate lines across silent plains. Temperatures here settle into deep stillness, and winds move like slow whispers across frozen valleys. If life exists in such darkness, it does not fear the night. It has simply grown comfortable with quiet. These are worlds where darkness is not loneliness, but rest. A long exhale, a softness deeper than sleep. And now, we drift toward worlds that move through shadow and flame. Fact 88. Planets that wander without stars. Some planets drift through space alone. No star to warm them, no sunrise to greet their horizons. They are called rogue planets, worlds that have slipped free from the systems where they were born, now traveling through the dark in steady silence. Yet they are not cold, lifeless stones. Many still carry warmth deep within, held from their formation long ago. Their surfaces may be wrapped in thick, insulating atmospheres, keeping gentle heat close, like a lantern cupped in hands. These worlds travel without destination, but not without grace, gliding through the quiet between the stars like deep thoughts that have left words behind. We drift now to warmth that rises from the inside out. Fact 89. Worlds warmed from within. Not every world depends on sunlight for warmth. Some planets and moons are heated by their own cores, glowing, slowly cooling embers left from the moment of their birth. This inner warmth rises through stone and water, melting ice, stirring oceans, shaping surfaces with gentle tides of heat. On such worlds, life could thrive in the dark, gathering around vents of mineral-rich water, never knowing stars or daylight. Heat does not always need fire. Sometimes it is simply the memory of creation held deep in a planet's heart. And now, we drift to that heart itself. Fact 90. A planet's quiet core. Deep inside every planet lies a center, a place where pressure, heat, and gravity meet in silent, steady balance. Some cores are molten, slowly swirling like thick, glowing honey. Others are solid, crystal dense and ancient. The core does not roar. It does not churn in chaos. Its movement is slow, purposeful, patient. It is the quiet engine of a world, holding its warmth, shaping its magnetic field, guiding the subtle hum of its being. A planet's core is not loud power, but gentle presence, the heart that never sleeps, yet never rushes. Fact 91. The soft shape of gravity. Gravity is often imagined as force and pull, but on the scale of planets, it behaves like patience. It rounds worlds slowly, softening rough edges, guiding mountains to settle, oceans to find their basins, clouds to curve in spirals. Nothing about gravity is rushed. It is the universe's quiet sculptor, steady, constant, untroubled. On worlds where gravity is stronger, the land feels close and grounded. On worlds where it is lighter, movement feels like drifting. Gravity shapes the way a planet feels long before we ever know its temperature or light. And now, we drift to worlds that do not move alone. Fact 92. Worlds that drift in pairs. Some planets orbit not one star, but two. They circle both suns at once, their days awash in double light, soft gold from one star, cool white from the other, blending into a warm, balanced glow. Sunsets here are gentle and layered, two suns dipping below the horizon at different times, spreading long waves of color across the sky. Nothing in their cycles is hurried. Light lingers, twilight expands. Night arrives softly, like a curtain drawn with care, and some planets circle stars so quietly that dust settles into rings around them. Fact 93. Planets with gentle rings of dust. Rings are not reserved only for giant planets. Even small rocky worlds can gather delicate halos of dust, ice, and shimmering fragments. From the surface, these rings would appear as faint, luminous arcs in the night sky. Not bright, not bold, but soft, like moonlight brushed across glass. They move slowly, held in place by gravity's gentle balance. Rings do not crash or collide. They float, each fragment finding a quiet path, each motion part of a calm, circular dance. A planet with rings feels peaceful from within, as though surrounded by its own quiet music. We drift now, toward the faint glow at the edge of systems. Fact 94. The far reaches of solar systems. At the outer edges of planetary systems, light arrives tired and pale, as though it has traveled too far to shine brightly. Here, planets drift slowly. Their orbits stretch wide, taking centuries or millennia to circle their stars just once. The sky is darker. Shadows are longer. The stars feel closer than the sun. Yet this region is peaceful, a realm of gentle motion and deep quiet, where nothing rushes and nothing interrupts the steady path of worlds. It is the cosmic equivalent of twilight, soft, cool, and endlessly calm. We drift now into places where ice becomes memory. Fact 95. Comet gardens. Far beyond the last bright planets lies a vast sphere of icy bodies, small, ancient travelers waiting in silence. This is the comet cloud, a cradle of frozen fragments left from the birth of the solar system. Each piece holds the oldest materials we know, unchanged for billions of years, preserved in cold so deep that time seems to sleep. When a comet is nudged inward, it carries history across light years, a messenger from the earliest days of everything, trailing a soft, luminous tail behind it, a memory with motion, a quiet whisper returning home. We drift now to the worlds nearly forgotten by their stars. Fact 96. Worlds nearly forgotten by light. Some planets orbit so distantly that their stars appear only as bright points in the sky, no larger than any other star. Day and night lose meaning here. There is only soft starlit dusk, stretching forever. Surface temperatures fall low, but not violently. The cold is still, like frost settling on quiet fields. These worlds do not call attention to themselves. They exist quietly, unseen by most, unbothered by their remoteness. Places where silence becomes landscape and stillness becomes companion. Now, we will drift past the edges of systems entirely into the space between the stars. Fact 97. The space between worlds. Between stars, there are vast regions of calm darkness where almost nothing stirs. No planets orbit here. No sunlight warms the emptiness. But this space is not empty. It holds faint wisps of ancient gas, dust from forgotten stars, and particles drifting like quiet snow. There is no up or down, no horizon, no sound. Just stillness, deep and gentle. If one could rest here without fear or need, it would feel like being wrapped in an endless night sky, where even thought becomes soft. A place where time feels like a slow breath. We drift farther into the interstellar sea. Fact 98. The quiet of the interstellar sea. Between galaxies lies a deeper quiet still. A vast ocean of space so open that the nearest point of light may be millions of years away. Here, darkness is not absence, it is presence. Soft, deep, and embracing. Starlight arrives thin and faint, colored by distance, gentle as memory. This is the cosmos at rest. Nothing rushes, nothing pushes. Everything simply is. To exist here would be to surrender to calmness completely, to float without weight, without urgency, without sound. And yet, even here, something moves very slowly. Fact 99. The long drift across darkness. Rogue planets, dust clouds, lonely comets, wandering moons. They all drift through this quiet ocean, not guided by purpose, but by the soft mathematics of gravity. Their motion is slow, measured in millions of years rather than minutes. Nothing interrupts them. Nothing startles them. They simply glide, unhurried, unbothered, tracing gentle arcs through infinity. This is not loneliness. It is peace, a kind of cosmic meditation. And now, we arrive at the final whisper of our journey. Fact 100. The universe, resting. For all its stars and storms, for all its worlds of fire and water, the universe spends most of its time in quiet. Silence is its natural state. Calm is its beginning and its ending. Every planet, every moon, every drifting ember of dust moves in slow, graceful arcs through a darkness soft as velvet. And when we look up at the night sky, we are not looking into emptiness. We are looking into rest, into peace, into gentleness, into the quiet heart of everything. And now, we let our journey settle. And as our journey comes to a gentle close, I hope you found a bit of calm among the stars tonight. If you enjoyed drifting through these sleepy facts, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and comment below what topic you'd love to fall asleep to next. When you're ready to keep dreaming, tap the end screen to watch the next Sleepy Astronaut video and continue your quiet voyage through the universe. Sweet dreams, and see you among the stars.